let us talk about Aleksei Kolosov a little bit.
Okay.
Gave up 5 goals on 20 shots tonight for a .750 save percentage. He gave up 6 on 26 10 days ago against the Kings. Listen, we all know the deal with Kolosov. Probably should be in the AHL. There's reasons he's not. We've gone over them time and time again. But they are steadfast that he is the number 2 goaltender.
Yeah,
Ivan Fedotov is an afterthought at this point. Wondering if and when they're going to waive him, send him down, whatever, to get him some playing time at least, because he hasn't played since the Florida game. I mean, like it was 20 minutes. He played 1 freaking period. But he's just not very good right now. You see flashes, you see some of the athleticism, but talk about not a finished product. That dude belongs in the AHL, and I don't see if they're not confident he's going to stay in North America. I get it, but like you might have to try something else.
Yeah, look, save percentage is not a perfect stat.
No.
Obviously, it's not accounting for the amount of pressure a goalie's under. It's not accounting for shot quality. However, when you finish a game with a save percentage of 75%, you didn't have a good game. Like, full stop, nothing else you can say. The Flyers only, and this goes back to what I was saying, is you're like, well, what can they, why do they get trapped in their own zone so much? There were some times where they did get cycled to death. However, against a LA Kings team that averages a lot of shots on goal per game, the Flyers allowed 20. They played a good defensive game. Now, I'm not saying there weren't some breakdowns. Obviously, there's that breakaway, which I'm not going to kill Kolosov on. He makes the initial save. They put in the rebound. You know what? He did his job. Somebody's got to backcheck a little harder or just not turn the puck over Yegor Zamula and Travis Konechny. Real bad. But those 2 goals in the first period, particularly the first one, you know what? He could have stopped both of those. The very least could have stopped the first one. Second one, maybe tough. But the first one, that's just not doing a good enough job of, number 1, tracking the play. Number 2, and Brian Boucher did a great job of breaking this down on the broadcast, he's just not positioned well. He's leaving that far side of the net open based on where he's positioned. And maybe you can get away with that in the KHL. Maybe you can get away with not having that degree of attention to detail. In the NHL, you can't. And maybe in North America in general, you can't. But certainly not in the NHL. You need some extra saves. And that's what we were talking about with Sam Ersson over the run of poor play that he was providing. It wasn't necessarily that he was giving up terrible goals. A couple of them were. But for the most part, I would say he wasn't giving up terrible goals. Yeah. It was that every game there were 1 or 2 where you're like, really wish you could have stopped that one, bud. And if that's happening every game, your save percentage is going to be in the toilet. That's what's happening with Kolosov right now. It really is. I mean, I'm thinking back to that game before the break where he lunges for the puck right in front, just whiffs on it, and they score immediately after. Those are the plays that you just can't have as an NHL goalie, or else your save percentage is going to go in the toilet, rightfully so. That's what happened tonight. There were at least 2 goals where you're just looking at it and you're like, I'm not saying that it's the worst goal. It's not a Steve Mason giving it up from center ice kind of goal, but you need an extra save or 2, especially in a game like this, in a winnable game. Flyers could have won this game. Really could have won this game.
Absolutely.
Kolosov just couldn't get that key save. Simple as that.
You scored. Now, listen, you only got 21 shots. It's not like you got goal lead or anything tonight.
True.
But you held the Kings to 20 shots and you scored 4 goals. You should have a chance. And yeah, they did have a chance. Comes down to an empty net situation at the end. They couldn't really get anything going, but you lose by 1 on the road to a really good team. 1 or 2 more saves. I know he's in a tough situation, some of his own making, and a prospect goalie, basically, you can't count on to win you a game. But it's like, man, just a little bit more, and you'd be giving this team a lot. He just isn't right now. Very interested. Do you think they just keep going 1 and 2 and keep Fedotov off to the side? Like, I don't know how you can just not let him play.
Like, I would give Fedotov a shot. I would, but thus far, like, This comes up every time
I
on
know.
this show.
I know.
Every time Kolosov struggles, it's, do you think they're going to play Fedotov? And all I can say is I would, but they haven't.
2 points tonight from Michkov. You lose in regulation. Torts might be in on the tank, Charlie. I'm going to be
It's a good
totally
tank
honest
game.
with you.
It's a very good tank
this
game.
is for the people who are like, we need, you know how you get those centers you keep talking about? You draft them. Tonight, kind of the perfect game. You get a Farabee goal, you get a Mish goal, you get a Forster goal. Like, that makes everybody happy. There's a bunch of guys we need to scoring. Yeah. But guess what? You gave up 5 goals on 20 shots, so you lose. Not bad for the tank, Charlie.
We all silly like the mayor.